Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. March Madness is a terrific time to have your own theater room. Giant drop-down screen, 4K projector, surround sound, audio. No one builds home entertainment rooms like Safety Systems. And while you can't get one turned around for the tournament, oh, you can get it turned around for football season, I guarantee you. Call VFL JJ Surlis about having a home entertainment system built into your home. Safety Systems, nobody beats them. They are spectacular. SafeTSystems.com. All right, let's take a look at just the importance. It looks like Tennessee's going to be a 3 seed. We'll debate whether they deserve a 2 seed, and of course we've seen it before where a team can get absolutely hosed, so maybe you get a 4 seed. I don't see it, but it could happen. But you see the difference here. Look at the 2 and the 3. If you're a 2 seed, you got a 94% chance of making the second round. If you're a 3 seed, well, you know, there's 15% chance you lose in the first round over time. This is over history. If you're a 2 seed, you got a 63% chance of making the Sweet 16. 3 seeds only make it about half the time. So, you know, look at the difference. The Elite 8, you got a 45% chance if you're a 2 seed. Only a 25% chance if you're a 3 seed. Seeding matters. Everyone knows it. This is why we talk about it. If you're hot, you can get through anything, and it's matchups, yada, yada, yada. But the numbers tell you the better seed, better your odds of making it further in the tournament. So what do the projector guys say? Joe Lunardi of ESPN, his latest breakdown, has Tennessee in the South region, a number 3 seed against number 14 St. Peter's. And then in the second round, they would play the winner of Boise State and Iowa State. He has them ticketed through to Pittsburgh. Jerry Palm of CBS Sports, what does he say? He says, South region, Tennessee a number 3 seed, playing number 14 St. Peter's. They see it the same way. We'll talk about that second round matchup a little later when we look at our red flag ratings. You'd play the winner of Texas and Memphis.
Guaranteed spice.
You'd play in Greensboro, North Carolina, according to that projection. And as we get into this seeding talk here, right now most brackets show that the overall seed in the 2s, you've got Purdue as an 8. All right, that's the last of the 2 seeds. They're the number 8 overall. They play today. They could lose. A lot of people have Purdue in there. Some have Villanova already as the 8 seed. Your problem is most brackets, most projectors, most people think that Tennessee's behind Villanova as the number 2, 3 seed. So even if Purdue loses, you would have to jump Villanova, a team that whipped your butt on a neutral site. And it was early in the year, but that's going to be tough. So that's the way most people view it. They may be viewing it wrong. You never know what's said in that room. Now let's take a look one more thing before I ask these guys. This is last night, so some of the numbers are different. But gentlemen, I ask you, does Tennessee deserve a 2 seed or a 3 seed? And you can look here in terms of net ranking. Tennessee is 8th in the country, so they would deserve a 2 seed. Quad 1 wins. They've got 9. They've played 16. There's only 3 teams better than them. They don't have a single quad 2, 3, or 4 loss. A lot of teams can't say that. Strength of schedule, you're 7. That would say a 2 seed. You're better than any of these other guys. I mean, look at some of those top teams. Kentucky has the 18th. All right, that's good. Gonzaga, 44. Purdue, 42. You look at non-conference strength of schedule. Tennessee, 17. Villanova, 10. Nobody else even close. Guys, I don't think they're going to get a 2 seed. I don't think there's any debate. They deserve a 2 seed. Am I right? Am I wrong?
It's kind of like for me when football starts out and they've got these preseason rankings, so automatically they've made decisions the later the season gets in. I mean, when you look at some of that stuff, they should be a 2 seed. I mean, their quad 1 wins, their no quad 4 losses. I mean, all that stuff would leave me. If they win today, they should be a 2 seed.
If they win today. Gentlemen, the thing is, they always talk about rewarding teams who schedule tough. Tennessee has all that. You're already a tougher schedule than most of the teams you're battling for these top 2 seeds. You also lost a game with Memphis. You had another top team that was on your schedule. If you're going to reward people for what you say you're going to reward them for, doesn't Tennessee deserve to be rewarded with a 2 seed?
When you talk about 16 total quad 1 games is a lot.
Right.
I think ultimately, you know, they did get some bad luck because playing A&M, you know, I think you guys mentioned earlier in the show, is not going to have that big of an impact. If you got Arkansas today and you beat Arkansas, then it's tight. But I think ultimately, just looking at some of those numbers, you know, whether deserve, you know, as they say, deserve ain't got nothing to do with it. So deserve probably going to get it's looking like an uphill battle. If it had been Arkansas today, it'd be really close. I just don't think A&M's going to do enough to push them over.
4 wins against top 5 teams. One of those against Kentucky yesterday that evened your record away from Thompson-Boling Arena, which means your record away from Thompson-Boling Arena is about the same record now that Kentucky has away from Rupp Arena, and they're considered a 2 seed. You played 12 teams who were ranked when you faced them. If not for having 2 guys out at Alabama, you probably are SEC regular season champions as well as having a shot at the tournament champion. Chuck, Isaiah, well, I know what you're going to say. You think they deserve a 1 seed.
Well, if we win today, I think we should be in the conversation for a 1 seed because Kentucky was and Auburn was, and I think we had a big
Yeah,
year
see,
both of them.
unfortunately, I think that's already been determined. I don't even
One
think
seed's
it
out.
really matters.
Yeah.
And of course, if Texas A&M wins, they're in, right? I don't think it matters for Tennessee. I think it's already been decided. And I think if you did the whole body of work, yeah, they deserve a 2 seed. But let's put this in perspective. If you're a 3 seed, that means you're one of the top 12 teams in the country, isn't it?
Yep.
That's nothing to sneeze at. And you probably haven't been up there all season long, right? Yeah. You've been gaining ground. I think that's what's I keep going back to that Texas Tech game. If you could have got that, I think that one more game could have put you over the top.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they don't look at what the team's doing now.
Well,
they
used to be a big part
Yeah.
of it, and then they stopped because they wanted to give you credit for scheduling more difficult games early.
Right.
Right.
But it hurt Tennessee this year because if you looked at last 10 games,
Yeah, and
Tennessee's
as far
killing
as
it.
the Texas A&M thing, I mean, you say, oh, well, they didn't beat Arkansas, they didn't beat Auburn in the championship game if we do win. But, I mean, they beat Auburn and smacked Arkansas, so I don't understand why the win wouldn't hold value.
Well, the other thing you look at, you give Kentucky the benefit of the doubt for beating Kansas, right?
Yeah, on the road.
Well, what about Tennessee beating Arizona? Tennessee also beat Kentucky twice. You know, so
Yeah.
it's nitpicking, but gosh, I think they're up there for that 2 seed.
John Calipari, I know Tennessee fans hate him and they hate Nick Saban, but those 2 guys are in such good situations they can be honest. And they have no problem bragging on other guys and saying things that, you would look at it and say, we can't be saying that because it would hurt his own team. They're not worried about it. They're in such good situations, they just speak the truth. Calipari said yesterday, hey, we were supposed to be a number 1 seed. Tennessee's beaten us twice. Do the people on the committee even watch these games and just look at numbers? Why isn't Tennessee a number 1 seed?
And when I look at that, John, why is all the love for Purdue? Purdue is like, what, are they even top 100 defensively? Why is Purdue getting all of the love they're getting?
It's that Big Ten.
Well, we're
crap that
perceived as a
Democrats
football.
worry
We're perceived as a football conference, and so I'm telling you, like the perception is we're more of a football conference. This SEC basketball conference this year is arguably the best that it's ever been, and it's best that it's been one of the best in the country. And to have the record that Tennessee has had, and you compare that against a Purdue or some of these teams from other
But here's the
conferences, they don't get the love.
You're right there because Big Ten's going to get 9 teams in. SEC may get 7 if A&M wins today. They're probably going to get 6, and A&M might not get in. So that's the difference. All right, when we come back, what types of teams have given Tennessee trouble this year? We've looked 25 Tennessee foes. We broke it down. What are the stats out of 31 possible advanced analytics? Which ones matter in these games? And we've looked at that, and we've applied it to the teams in the tournament field, and we're going to tell you who Tennessee wants to see on that bracket line and who they don't. Come on back on the Sports Source.